My name is Jamar Rogers. I live in the Bronx, New York, and I'm a singer-songwriter. I think that there's a lot of definitions to ego, but I think that ego gets a bad rap just because so many egotistical people. But we have to keep in mind that the reason we have ego is because of a defense mechanism, so we would thrive and evolve in nature. I think that the problem is when you start thinking that ego is real life. What's real is what's here and how you feel here. Ego is just, my inner machismo showing through that wants to get stroked all the time. But I think that ego is not your authentic self. I think it's a protective nature of yourself, and if you don't tame the beast, it will consume you. Ego affects the way I love when my girl and I are not seeing eye to eye at the moment. And I know that like a simple word of affection from me or a simple gesture of affection would probably ease all of the problems that we're having right now. But in that moment, ego says, no, I don't want to be wrong. I want to be right. And that's where the beast takes over. So I feel like she and I have gotten to a really good place that the moment something bothers us, we speak on it. But I still have to check my ego to make sure that like I'm not getting offended by what she brings to me, and that she feels that there's an open and honest pathway of communication between us without me being in judgment or my ego being in judgment of her. Love. Who the hell knows what love is, right? I think that people have an idea of what love is. It's romantic comedies. It's When Harry Met Sally. It's the butterflies you get in your stomach. It's the person that you text right before you fall asleep and the first person you text when you wake up. But none of that bullshit is love. Love is a weapon. Love is not an emotion. You don't fall into love. Love is a force that is within each and every single one of us that can break chains, that can set people free. Love is not self-serving. Love isn't ego-driven or egotistical or based on what I want at all times. Love says we are connected, we are one, and though I may not see eye to eye with you on this particular thing that's going on, love says I still respect your opinion and I still respect the person you are. To me, love is God and God is love. And I think that once humanity decides to use love as a weapon, I think that a lot of our problems will be fixed. I believe that love is the key element to success in every factor of life. Yeah, you can have monetary success, but you don't have love. It's nothing. You can have all of the artistic success in the world, but you have love. No love, you're nothing. We are nothing without love. And I have to be very clear about that because there's been a lot of songs and popular theories that, I don't need love. I don't need someone. That's not true. And the only way we're going to get through the troubling times that we have coming up ahead is through love. And it's more than self-love. It's loving each other. And it's actually putting yourself in the other person's shoes and trying to live life through their perspective. We're constantly yelling at each other. We're constantly yelling, trying to get our points across, but no one's willing to listen. Love listens. We say we fall in love, but when our partner makes us doubt ourselves or doesn't make us feel as good about ourselves, and suddenly we're bored and we're not in love anymore. And I'm trying to say that now is the time for us to stay. Now is the time for us to commit to this movement of love that is about to happen. Either you're going to get with it or you're going to get left. The ideal way for me to receive love is to give it first. I've learned that you really do receive everything that you put out into the universe first. So if you are a hateful ass person, guess what? You're going to be surrounded by nothing but hateful ass people. But I feel like if you are someone with a pure heart and really you thrive off of giving, then you're going to get that in return. And I'm not patting my own self on the back, but it took lots of times for me loving in situations when I could have chosen to fight, but I chose to love in that situation. I think that's why I now have a woman that loves me unconditionally through every single bad day, every single great moment. She's there and she's not going anywhere. But it had to take me giving love and giving of myself first. Oh, well, growing up, my mom was all I had. I never knew my father. I knew a name, but I had no idea what he looked like. So my mom was my everything. She was my mom, she was my dad, she was my teacher, she was my drill sergeant for sure. So growing up as a teenager, I had this love-hate thing with my mom because she was all I had, but she was also super really hard on me. And so I never felt like I could do enough to please her or to make her proud of me. I will say that she and I both have changed as people, and now we do more than just love each other. We respect each other, and we've set boundaries for her, boundaries for me, and to me that's what love is. Love is setting boundaries. Well, I tell you what, Freud was right when he was like, you pick a partner that is just like your parent because my girl is just as tough as my mama is. And that's what I love about her. I think that guys are subconsciously looking for a partner that makes them feel as safe and warm as their mother did. And for better or for worse, because these niggas need to also know that the woman that you're with is not your mother, and she shouldn't be cleaning up after you and cooking for you all the time. So there should be like a difference there somewhere along the way. But I will say that my mom, because she is such a strong woman, I've always been attracted to strong women. Oh boy. I think I've been heartbroken more times than I can count because to me, heartbreak is more than just like a crush breaking your heart. Being heartbroken means every time I've heard I wasn't good enough or heard that I would never make it anywhere with my music. You know, like every time there is an abandonment or there's a dismissal of sorts, of course, there's a heartbreak there. So I think that what's so beautiful about heartbreak is the art that comes out of it. So I don't try to keep myself from being hurt. I think that when you love with abandon, when you love without inhibition, you're completely opening yourself up to have that heartbreak. But isn't life richer because you experienced it? Oh man. Growing up, I didn't really have that many male role models. I had my stepdad, but he and I weren't very close. I think that because I never knew what my father looked like, I would kind of take these different pieces of different teachers, coaches, pastors that I had, and I would like in my mind make this like mega dad. And that's who I looked up to. And in my mind, my mega dad would have never abandoned me. My mega dad would have protected me from being molested. You know, my mega dad would have kind of like, I don't know, would have kept me from experiencing a lot of heartbreak. So what has been important for me is to become the man that I once admired. That when I have kids, that I be the mega man to my kids that I wanted as a kid. My definition of success was what everyone's definition of success is. A lot of money, you know, nice cars, nice gear, and just looking fly all the time.
Okay, so how has your definition of success changed since then?
Oh man, none of that is success to me. To me, success is liking the person I am when I go to sleep at night. I used to hate myself, and now I love the fuck out of myself. So it's like, to me, that's success. For someone that did a stint in Bellevue for trying to kill himself because I literally hated myself that much, to now I enjoy my solitude because I enjoy my company with myself. To me, that's success. Success, yeah, it would be great for the entire world to give you accolades for your art and for what you put out there, but at the same time, who cares if you don't love yourself? Who cares if you can't live with yourself? That's where ego takes over, right? So I don't love myself. My ego constantly needs that stroke. So let me post this thirst trap on Instagram to get a whole bunch of likes. And to me, that's empty and fleeting. So success, I'm successful because, like I said, I love the fuck out of myself.
Yeah.
My definition of sexy has nothing to do with sex, though. Like, yeah, sure, there's people that have, like, sexy things about them, you know? But for me, this is the sexiest thing that anyone can have, is your mind. And if you express yourself in a fucking perfect way, that's sexy to me. That's a good question. Can you be successful without being sexy? Yes, there's lots of successful, unsexy motherfuckers out there. But who am I to say that these people are not sexy? I've never sat with them on a one-on-one basis. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me basing sexy on looks. Unfortunately, in today's society, we are very looks driven. You know, I was a bartender for many, many years, and it's true. If you're in the service industry and you're better looking, you're going to make more tips. What I'm trying to do is check myself at every corner, making sure I'm checking how I view people. Am I instantly in tune with someone because she's a cutie, or am I turning it off a little bit because he doesn't look that good? Like, it's like, I feel like since we are all one, we are all sexy in our own way, and it's just about sitting down with someone and getting to know them and being like, damn, that's really sexy about them. I would have never noticed that before because it's not my criteria for what's sexy. But it all starts with a conversation. It all starts with love.